Recently, a few people have asked me how to change an object's colour in Affinity 3. Although the methods and tools haven't changed since earlier versions of Affinity, lots of people are new to this software. That means they may struggle with or even ignore earlier Affinity Photo tutorials. That's why I thought I'd make this video to share an easy way to replace one colour with another. I'm going to show you how to turn this yellow car blue. If you're still using an earlier version of Affinity like 1 or 2, don't worry because the tools haven't changed that much. The dialog still looks the same and the controls there are still used in the same way. That means you're going to still be able to follow this video. And if you want the photo used in the video to try this yourself, you can download it from my website. I'll put a link to it in the YouTube description. I'm starting with the image open in the Pixel Studio. If you're using an older version of Affinity Photo, that's going to be the photo persona. This is the part of Affinity where we do most of our photo editing. I'm then going to add a new HSL adjustment layer to the image. HSL adjustments allow us to change any colour into a different colour. Now, rather than using the menus to add the layer, I prefer to work with the icons in the Layers Studio panel. That's going to be faster and easier than the menu system because it avoids digging through the different options to find the one you want. Instead, all I need to do is click the icon to add a new adjustment layer. The icons here look slightly different in the earlier versions of Affinity, but you'll still be able to identify them by hovering your mouse over each one. When we click the adjustment layer icon, we see a pop-up list of the different adjustment layers we can use. We can then select the HSL layer. We now see the HSL dialog and the new layer added above the image layer in the Layers Studio panel. The way this dialog works is that it separates colours into 3 separate components that can be used to define any colour. The first component is the hue, which is actually what most people think of as being colour. The next component is saturation, which is effectively the strength of the colour, or a measure of its intensity. And the third component is the luminosity. By default, the HSL layer affects every colour in the image. If you look below the colour wheel in the dialog, you'll see a row of coloured discs representing different colour ranges. These are used to target our adjustments onto different colours. But the first of these, which is the default, shows multiple colours, indicating that every colour is targeted. You can see this when I move the hue slider. Notice how it's changing every colour and not just the car. Let's reset that now by entering the value of 0 in the hue slider field. Now in our example we're lucky because the yellow of the car is here as a colour range. I'll look at what to do in a minute if this isn't the case. For the moment though, all I need to do is click the yellow disc. We then see the range markers appear on the colour wheel. I'll explain what these are and how to use them shortly. After selecting our colour target, all we need to do is move the hue slider to choose the new colour. Now, there are a couple of problems with this. First, if there are any colours that are similar to the car in the image, those are also going to be affected. I'll come back to look at that in a moment. The other problem that I want to look at first, though, is when the colour we want to target isn't shown. What do we do then? The simple answer is to still select one of the colour ranges. You can actually choose any of the colours, but I like to choose one that's as similar to the colour I want to change as possible. This activates the Picker button. Click this button once, then click on the colour in the image we want to target. Let's quickly use the umbrellas in the background as an example because they're not very similar to any of the colour ranges. Now, if you find that you get into a bit of a mess with your changes and you want to start again, just click the Reset button at the top. That's going to reset any adjustments you've applied in the dialog. Now, let's start again here, and this time I will target the car. First, I'll click the yellow range disc to select that. Then I'll use the Picker tool and click on the car to sample it. After that, I can then move the hue slider left to turn the car blue, and I'll also move the saturation slider to the right just to intensify the colours. Now, let's look at the range markers on the colour wheel because you may have noticed that they moved when I sampled the colour of the car. These are what control the colour that's being targeted by the HSL adjustment. The inner range markers show me the colour that will be affected by the layer adjustment at full strength. Then the outer markers are used to fade this effect away into surrounding colours. This is what helps to blend the adjustment into the image. You can also see the inside part of the colour wheel showing me the colours I'm targeting between the two range markers. The outside edge of the colour wheel, though, now shows me the new colour that's being used to replace it. Another thing to notice is that this hasn't affected the blacks and whites and greys in the image. The reason is that they aren't actually colours, they don't have a hue component. Because of this, we can't change their hue to another hue. Now let's look at the problem that our adjustment isn't only affecting the car, but it's also affecting the umbrellas in the background. The easy solution to this is to apply a mask to the HSL layer that selects only the car. Let's create that now using the Object Selection tool from the Tools palette. After selecting the tool, be sure to click the background layer that contains your image. The tool will only work on the selected layer. This means that we need to select the layer containing the image to identify the objects in the image. It doesn't work if you have a different layer selected. Now, as I move my mouse pointer over the car, we can see it identifying objects which are indicated by the hash marks. These hash marks show us when a good selection will be created. When the marks cover the car, I can click the image once to produce a selection. Now we see the marching ants around the car indicating the selected area. Next, I need to select the HSL layer again in the Layer Studio panel. I can then click on the mask icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. This adds a mask to the HSL layer created from the selection that's in place. Now only the car is being affected by the adjustments. I can then clear my selection by clicking the pixel menu and using the deselect option. And because this is a non-destructive adjustment layer, I can continue to refine and change the colours. But there is one big problem that some of you watching this will face. Your computer may not have the hardware needed for the object selection tool to work. If that's the case, you need to use a different method to create your selection. That's why I recommend watching this video next, where I show you an old school method to create excellent selections. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you soon for another video.